Welcome to Start Here, a podcast sharing the stories of active, aspiring, and accidental entrepreneurs. All right, today we're sitting down with Adam Farmer, CEO and founder of The Farmer Companies, Vermont's most active investor and operator of iconic brands of food and CPG products. Welcome, Adam. I'm Nicole.
I'm Dave Bradbury.
And today we're recording live from VSET's Start Here podcast room.
Welcome, Adam.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. This is my very first podcast. So
no, it's not. Actually,
it is. I thought he would made it up on the way up the stairs, but this is not. This is like our 104th, but we're actually feeling I feel like a rookie today, so we'll do our best.
I feel like a rookie too.
Let's do this together.
Yes. To start off, pretty high level to set the stage. What is Farmer Companies?
So, in simplest forms, I like to say we have the most basic thesis when it comes out, for a business model. We love iconic brands that we think can very quickly expand into new market verticals. What started with Cabot Cheese, we're in Vermont, Cabot Cheese is local, make the best cheddar in the world, where our thought process was, hey, Cabot is very well known in cheese. We think that it would do very well in other cheese-based products. And we started a partnership with them. We did a licensing agreement, and has very quickly turned into one of the fastest growing popcorn brands in the country. And our model, by the nature of it, is very replicable. You find a great brand that can carry over into an adjacent category. There's a lot of white space there. And so, when we're looking, to expand our portfolio, we do it, with licensing, and now we're starting to buy businesses as well. We made our first acquisition last summer with Wisps, which is the number one cheese crisp in the United States, which is pretty exciting. And,
getting
I was like, wait, why do you look shocked?
It's pretty awesome to hear that, right? I mean, how good does it feel as we bought that?
Yeah, we're pumped. It made perfect sense with our portfolio, and now it's kind of turned into this. We got 5 brands, 1 owned, 4 licenses, and there's a lot of other fun stuff that we're working on here, and it's all under one company. We got a very talented team, and we do fun stuff.
Cool. Can you name the brands alphabetically?
Cabot, Guinness, Newman's, Nathan's, Wisps.
Nice, right? Yeah. Newman's, Nathan's famous.
Right, Nane.
All right, sorry about that. It was just, brain teasers.
But for example, these aren't even out yet. This was our first production run. So I brought them here so you guys could do a live cutting.
These are beautiful.
Live taste test.
Wait, yes.
Wow. All right. So this is a premium beef stick or meat stick you're launching with Nathan's Famous because they weren't doing this themselves, right? So this is how you extend their brand and their product line.
Exactly. So, our business, I know you guys are the Vermont Center for Emerging Technologies. I mean, we're probably the least technological company out there. I mean, it's like the opposite of rocket science. Nathan's is the number one hot dog in the U.S. Like, beef sticks are the fastest growing category in the U.S. Makes sense, right? And so we're really excited about these. These are actually made here locally at Vermont Smoke and Cure. They've been a great partner. We've been developing these for over a year, where we've been working very closely with the Nathan's teams. We use their same secret spice that goes into the hot dogs. There's a specific secret spice that they use for these. And we have carried it over into a meat stick, and we're launching with 3 unique flavors to the category, but also very synonymous with Nathan's. So we have the original, a deli mustard, and a chili and cheese. Okay. But it's a phenomenal product.
So, and this is July 4th week, right?
Yes.
Are you going to be in Coney Island for their big hot dog contest?
There is going to be a meat stick eating contest. That is a part of it. Yes.
Is this a first?
Shout out to Badlands Booker, who's going to be
champion, right?
He's gonna be crushing some meat sticks on the 4th of July.
Can we bet on this? I guess we should get our...
I don't know if it's public knowledge about the meat stick part yet. I think it's kind of
this will come out after.
Yeah, maybe next year they'll have rounds on the meat sticks.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
But yeah, we'll be there. Our team will be there. We're handing out a bunch of product. And we're betting internally how many he can eat, for sure.
Whoa.
Over under 100 is kind of...
No.
Well, you got to do the math. If they eat 60...
unwrapping count or are they already unwrapped?
We don't know how they're going to do it yet. We're like, are they going to have them all unwrapped and like snap them in half and then eat them? Or like, do you hold like...
a number of...
Yeah, do you hold 10 of them at once and just...
Yeah, this is a science project. We probably should get someone from the food systems lab up
What is
at
the
UVM.
best way to eat meat sticks?
Yeah.
That's...
well, we know like anything in business, you're not going to figure out the first go.
Right, yeah.
This
Next
will be
year, they'll
iterate.
streamline it a little bit.
So, all right. So back to the company here. You formed it in 2020 or so, right?
Right.
How many people on the team now? And like, what's the reach of products?
So we have 14 people. We have, shout out to our team. Really proud of the team we've built. We have very established CPG experts that are leaving their jobs to come join us. And, that says a lot. We have a really laser focused mission and, I am very proud to say now that I am the least educated person on our company when it comes to CPG or consumer product goods products.
How did you get that expertise? Like, you grew up in South Burlington,
Yep.
right? Went to school at Castleton University, right? And then like, what attracted them? Was it the brands that you got, or did you have to build the team in order to convince Newman's Own that you were credible, or what? Chicken and egg kind of story, I guess. Like, how did you pull this together?
It's a long story. I mean, if you want to know the whole...
Well, we can edit it out.
Yeah.
the whole how I got here or how the team joined. I feel like they're two different stories, or how, like...
I want to start with how you got here. Yeah. Then we can go to the team.
Okay, so I, like I said, I don't have I have my associate's degree in marketing from Castleton. When I was in college, I was always trying to invent things. I got I got like 3 or 4 patents while I was in college. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if David remembers this, but I cold called David when I was in college with an invention that I had. I called you guys.
What, were we nice?
Yeah, but it was not a good idea.
Just blew it off.
It was called the Safe to Sit. Does this remember?
Safe to sit, like a toilet product, or
it
what
was.
Yeah.
I have to draw it up for you. So it was called this. I did call you.
I'm going back in our records.
I did call you for this. I was like, I got a really good idea. So
Safe.
it was called Safe to Sit, SAFE, the number 2, and then an apostrophe IT. So the apostrophe takes place for the letter H. So it's really...
Got it.
So it was a sanitizing spray that you always had with you in case you had to use public toilets.
Great. It's really helpful in our business, Nicole. We can say, oh, sorry, that sounds like a great idea, but we're really technology focused.
Right. I'm like, I got this really good idea. I think it was ahead of its time. If it came out in COVID, we would have been selling it like crazies. But anyway, like I quit college early to make 5,000 of these, and I sold these on Church Street. That was my first job. I had them in a backpack, and I was slinging these.
That's awesome.
I was going to random people, like, hey, do you guys like public toilets? No? I got something for you. And it was not a success, clearly. And so I knew I needed to get into finance and learn about business. And so I cold called Merrill Lynch, which is down at the office. And I went there, and they're like, what do you know about finance? And I'm like, nothing, but I want to learn. And I actually stapled a Safe to Sit to my resume.
I love it.
Hey, it was the long-winded thing. Like,
when you can sell and make your case.
Well, they didn't hire me.
Yeah,
not then. But anyway, they're like, learn about investments. Get your Series 7 and study, and then call us back. And so like I knew this is how we got into this, because
wow.
Then I sold insurance at Northwestern Mutual with my best friend Ben, who's also part of this company, is our chief growth officer. We just got our insurance license and just cold called people all day, every day. Ended up getting our investment licenses, and then got hired back at Merrill Lynch. That went for about 2 years. I ended up, and I don't.
No, they're not. It just says selling.
Oh, okay. So you wrote selling down. I'm like, should I not be selling right now? Should I?
No, it's a note to myself. Well, selling is like a really difficult thing for a lot of people,
right.
A lot of inventors and creative types, and it's so. We're gonna get back to that.
Okay. All right. Okay. That made me. I didn't know if I had to
stop looking at my notes.
Okay. Sorry. My bad.
All right.
Anyway, long story. I was a financial advisor. I built it. I grew. I had a really good network of people that I just, believed in, that liked me and believed in me and what we were doing. And I thought of this idea where actually I bought a Tempur-Pedic mattress, and I was, kind of got obsessed with this, where I'm like, Tempur-Pedic is such a good brand. They could do other stuff. And I'm like, Tempur-Pedic made, underwear for sleeping. I'd buy those in a heartbeat. And so I got really intrigued with the licensing business and brand extension. And what I realized was nobody was putting capital behind these license deals. They're normally big company to big company. And then it's a very short transactional agreement, right? And if it works, you keep it going. If not, you move on. And that's where I realized there was an opportunity to structure these deals a little bit differently. And so at this time, I was in investment banking. I was raising money for other people, and I kind of started thinking, okay, what are the top brands that we could partner with? And being from Vermont, Cabot was the very first one that came to mind.
This is a venture co, yeah?
Yeah.
With Aaron?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay,
so I was
awesome.
at Merrill, and then I.
So you started on the lake, and then you started working your way uphill
Right.
to Church Street.
Yes.
And now he's a VSET. Boom.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I feel like I'm talking too much.
No,
We're not gonna get through. We're not gonna get through all of these questions.
No, this is about you.
I think we're still on number one. But yeah.
I'm moving the questions.
All right. Okay. Yeah. We only have 1 hour, right? So yeah. And then at that time, I had a good group of people that believed in it, in our mission. And, it doesn't take much convincing, hey, what do you think Cabot popcorn would sell?
Yeah. So what was sort of the pitch to Cabot, and why would a brand like that not want to do it themselves?
So
to make popcorn or chips or mac and cheese, I think you did for a bit. And
I got to give a huge shout out to Roberta McDonald. If anybody knows,
the best.
You know Roberta
Hi,
McDonald?
Roberta. Oh, she's magic.
Roberta, if you see, she is an amazing woman. Do you know Roberta McDonald?
I've heard of her.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lore. We have lore about Roberta around here.
Really?
Good lore.
Yeah.
I cold called a bunch of the farmers. I remember this, and I was like, I got a really good idea. I think, and they're like, you got to talk to Roberta, and they gave me her number, and I called Roberta, and she's like, okay, let's meet. And I knew nothing about food, nothing. And it was kind of, if you know Roberta, right? She's a very, fate is something that is very, it was one of those things where I called her right after she got out of a meeting to talk about this. And so it was she's like, all right, I got to take this kid's meeting. And, I made a presentation to her about what we're going to do, and I cringed looking at that presentation. It was so bad. How we're going to grow Cabot. Have you guys seen the movie Tommy Boy?
No.
Who hasn't?
Right.
Yeah.
Me.
Come on, Nicole. It's great. It's the best.
It's an older movie for my generation.
Okay, then yeah.
It was probably made. What year was it made? Like the 80s. Anyway, it's about they go on this.
Chris Farley, right?
Yeah. I think he died in 1990.
He did die.
Right.
Yeah.
So they went on this big selling trip where they he was selling, try to keep his dad's company alive, and him and this guy went in a van, in a car and road tripped, and I'm like, that's what I put in our presentation. I was like, we're gonna get a van and we're gonna wrap it in Cabot cow print. We're gonna sell popcorn, which is not how you do a CPG business at all. Clearly didn't know it. And I met with her and she was just like, what? But I'm like, look, I'm going to bring in the best people to this business that are going to help grow it. If there's one, I'm confident I can raise money to get this deal, to invest behind it. It's now a matter of bringing in people that know this better than anybody else. And so I also have to give a big shout out to Evan Metropolis. If you guys have ever heard of that name, Evan and his brother Dean and their whole team have bought and sold more iconic consumer product goods brands than maybe anybody alive. Wow. They're the ones that have turned around Pabst Blue Ribbon, Hostess, Bumblebee Tuna, Vlasic Pickles, you name it. Maybe 60 brands at that level. And they actually got their start in Vermont in the cheese business.
No way.
Yeah, that was their
first. I didn't know that.
Where Vermont Smoking Cure is now was their what used to be International Cheese, where they made provolone and mozzarella.
Right, I remember that company when I worked in the commerce agency.
Right, yeah. So that was their first business, and so I met with Evan, and he was excited about it. Evan's, we should get him on here at some point. But he lives in Vermont. He lives in Charlotte, and he's.
You already trying to leave?
Yeah,
this has been fun. I got meat sticks on. I'm out.
I'm out. That's it. But then so Evan was like, yeah, I'll come out of retirement and help you with this. What got
Roberta to say yes for Cabot?
Probably
after this train wreck of a presentation.
Probably the fact that I had someone like Evan as part of the team.
So there's some...
Not probably, 100%.
So they like the idea of extending their brand in a way that put a lot of the risk on you.
Right.
Financially and operationally, and you had a team early on that bought into this.
Correct. Yeah, we had... I don't think... Roberta, if you ever watch us, you would have not done it with us if we didn't have Evan. So I'm really thankful to the people that believe in what we're doing. Do
you think that's uniquely Vermont?
Oh my gosh.
Just that companies like Cabot and people like Roberta would actually take a meeting with an upstart like you?
I think Vermont's a small community, right? Everybody overlaps with somebody in some way. I wouldn't say it's a Vermont thing. I would say there's a certain type of person that is open, and respects people that are hustling, for that matter, right? Some people they want nothing to do with it. And, I've made probably 1 million cold calls in my life. And, there's some people that I would say, are more, they respect somebody that's going out there.
They might have been doing it themselves.
Right, exactly.
Career, yeah.
And then some people don't. And I don't know if it's
That's probably why I took your phone call back to safety.
Right.
To set, yeah.
I didn't know if you knew that. I specifically, because I Googled.
Did you not tell me that in due diligence on purpose, just so I wouldn't go to a dark place of this? Look at you in our records.
I think we spoke on the phone for maybe 20 seconds.
All right, sorry about that.
If you go through your email, maybe I sent you an email. That would be funny to find. I'll have to give you my personal email.
I will say over time though, we do save we usually if we make an investment or just support a company over time, we try to find the first point of contact. So we have evidence of when the rocket scientist came in the door.
Right.
Or when the doctor on the hill is like, hey, I'm thinking of starting this heart mapping tech.
Right.
Do I need an LLC or an S Corp, or how do I get a teammate? Those basic things. And it's kind of fun to have that, that trust, or people just come down and just make their case and learn together.
That'd be hilarious if that is saved in your email. Right, probably would have been in 2013.
It's there.
We'll work on that one.
It's there. Yeah. So kind of switching gears a little bit, you tapped into it about, being a company in Vermont, but how has your network here helped scale farmer companies into companies like, Nathan's and Guinness and Wisps?
How we do it internally, or how has us based in Vermont?
It doesn't even have to be Vermont. It's just your network that you've built. It can be internal,
right.
Yeah.
So when we knew early on that we had to set our business up to be able to scale wide and fast and very streamlined. We work with the best manufacturers for our products. Just talking on Cabot, all our products are made with Cabot cheese. We actually figured out a really symbiotic way to make this, where we take their trim cheese, which is made, when they make a bar of cheddar, the piece that doesn't form a perfect bar is essentially, trim. Like, that's the waste that goes through the manufacturing line. Cabot makes millions and millions of pounds of cheese. They have a lot of trim. And so we worked with them to be able to get the right mix of trim, real age, 12-month trim with blocks, and then find a third-party manufacturer that can take that into a usable powder that we use on our popcorn. So that's not just a novel. We're really making it with Cabot cheese. And then the manufacturing partners that we work with, we need to make sure that they have the capacity to scale, that there's no line time restraints. And then we put all of our product, finished goods, no matter what brand we're going to be working with, with a third-party logistics provider. We use one out of Chicago that automatically, seamlessly connects to every retailer across the country. Orders
you set
come
up
in.
an outsource to trusted partners for that part of the business, manufacturing and fulfillment, distribution.
Right.
Oh, got it.
So you could have product going anywhere in the U.S. and doesn't matter. Might cost a little bit more if the distance is farther, but we knew that was key for us when we started to really scale our business. Was we didn't want any manufacturing or constraints.
Sort of asset light approach, and then. But you also brought in a couple of business owners early on as investor board members, right?
Yep.
That knew distribution, or they knew the retailer piece. Like, is that the key to a successful CPG business? Is it
absolutely.
in the manufacturing, the product, or is it just distribution and support in the store?
I would say people are everything. I'm like worried about if I leave anybody out. So I'm okay, I got to make sure I give shout outs to everybody.
You're
here.
The most important.
Right. Shout out to Farrell Distributing, Dave Farrell, Doug Broussard. We'll start there.
You forgot Brian.
Brian Cairns. Brian Littlefield.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have a whole slide.
We'll roll.
We're gonna put it. Yeah. I got a special thanks at the end of this podcast to hundreds of people. But to your point, I mean, Farrell Distributing was another very strategic partner of us that came on, not just as a partner that can help sell our product and get it, essentially everywhere, but they did invest. They liked the idea. They liked the simplicity of it. I remember we had our first meeting with Doug from Farrell, no finished product. We had popcorn in a Ziploc bag in a drawing. And he's like, that'll sell. So they were excited about it.
It's the best freaking popcorn on the
good.
planet. It is so head
good.
and shoulders above anything else. And yeah, I'm biased. I love Cabot cheese too, but it's great.
We are, we don't cut corners on any of the products that we make. And, when it comes to Cabot Pop, it's an expensive product.
I was just going to say, how do you balance price and consumer
$5.99 a bag. Compared to some other brands, which might be $3.99, and it really truly, we're not it costs that much to make. It's real cheddar, which first of all is rare in snacking. To actually use real 12-month aged cheddar in a snack, large scale production, product. Most people are trying to get it as cheap as possible, and they'll use milk fats and things like that resemble cheddar, but they can call it cheese, but it's not real, it's not the real deal. And then we use more of it. So if we're talking Cabot popcorn, 28% of the bag is just pure cheese powder, the weight of the bag. And so if it's a 4.5 ounce bag, do the math, what is that?
Versus 4%.
I'd say standard's probably from 12 to 15. Okay. So it's twice as cheesy as every other brand out there, and better cheese. And it's worked, right? People, tried and they're like, this is the best popcorn I've ever had.
When we were considering do we want to invest in this not really tech company. I mean, there's a lot of science in the food and the formulations for sure. I had an annual mountain biking trip up in the kingdom with all my investor pals and business owners. And I bought like $80 worth of popcorn and chips, and I just put them out. Everybody that picked up a bag finished it.
Right.
Like, or they put it down, then they come back to like, it was insane. And I was like, okay, if you're going to be that into something, a food product, then there's potential. And that's when we started digging in. I was like, you gotta love the product, right? Because what good is one sale of a $5 bag?
Right.
Right. You need people buying this weekly or regularly.
That's probably one of the first questions any of our investors ask is, can you send me samples? Right. You gotta believe in what you're investing into. We have 3 new flavors of Cabot popcorn coming out in September is what we're targeting. So.
Right.
Is it like fall themed or
no?
Oh my God! Please do not do pumpkin spice.
I was literally just about to say, is there
We've looked
like
at
pumpkin?
We don't allow pumpkin spice in the VSAT building.
We've gotten samples of a pumpkin. Like, have you tried our maple cheddar, where it's like a candy coated maple and cheese?
Great. Yeah,
we like that. We call it the New England collection line because we're pairing iconic New England flavors with cheese, and so we've been thinking like, what other ones could we do? And we tried a pumpkin cheddar and it was delicious, but we're like, that just seems weird on the bag, like pumpkin cheddar.
Pumpkin cheddar.
Pumpkin pie.
I know, because you're probably seeing pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice.
Right, pumpkin cheese.
I don't know how Dunkin' Donuts.
Pumpkin cheesecake. Pumpkin cheesecake.
Pumpkin cheesecake.
Pumpkin cheesecake. That's what we could call it.
Totally different thing. Totally
that
different.
Is good.
Okay. So just in the last couple of weeks, right, you've announced acquiring Wisps and reintroducing that product to the market nationally, or like where does that appear? Like in grocery stores or?
Wisps is so now's actually a really good time for Wisps. If you look at everything that's going on with people focusing on better for you products, I should have brought some Wisps with me. I don't know. I brought 4 meat sticks for my first podcast. What am I thinking here? Rookie. I didn't think it was going to be on camera. I thought it were. If you look at everything that's going out with, better for you, Wisps is arguably the healthiest and cleanest snack product you can have. It's made with one ingredient. That's it.
Literally.
Cheese.
Wow.
Like you look at the ingredient label, Parmesan cheese. And so Wisps does very well in higher end. Think of the Costco's, the Sprouts markets, those outlets. When we purchased it, we knew we had our work cut out for us. We essentially had to relaunch it with a whole new supply chain and use our cheese making, or we don't make cheese, but I guess we're becoming experts in cheese at this point.
Sounds like it.
Right. And shout out to our operations team. We were able to buy Wisps and relaunch it under a completely new supply chain in less than 3 months in a business model that was profitable. We focused on the top SKUs,
and
got it to the market.
Get it out in distribution. How many states are your products in today?
Wisps?
Or network wide?
Probably all of them. I'd say like maybe all of them.
Does that include Canada?
Wisps is in Canada, yes. I don't think we're in Alaska or Hawaii. We're in Puerto Rico through CVS.
Okay, so big footprint.
Yeah, I'd say different brands are concentrated. Like Cabot's obviously, very concentrated East Coast. But yeah, we got a pretty wide footprint.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm just 3 months is really fast. Like, how did you do that? How did your team do that?
So a little backstory on Wisps specifically. So Wisps was a brand that was the leader in the space for 10 years.
Yeah.
It was started in 2013. It really kind of came out, and grew rapidly when keto diet became, the thing. If you think 2017, 2018, keto was all the craze. And so that caused the brand to really go to the next level. And as keto, the brand transacted, it was owned by a private equity company. trying to make sure I don't bash it. They did a great job. But the diet, the keto diet weaned. And, if you think about all these new products that came out in keto, and a lot of them, to be frank, are gross. Like, have you ever tried some of these keto, like chocolates? And
I think I've had like a keto cookie.
Yeah, they're not good.
No,
they're gross.
And it's also not good for you. Like, a lot of the ingredients are bad.
Right. There's engineered protein and things like that.
Keep all those items in my pumpkin spice drawer.
And so Wisp kind of went down. They say that all tides, what is it? The tides,
they rise together. They
right. The tide
together.
lifts all boats. The tide sinks all boats. And so keto, kind of, faded away. And that was really the time that we acted on this. And so we purchased the brand, and we're focusing now moving forward on talking about the best attributes, which is its single ingredient simplicity. And no other snacks can claim that. That's going to be the message that we're going to be relaying as we essentially rebirth it. We're focusing on premium, high quality ingredients. It needed to taste better than it did before. That was very important for us. And we are confident that it does. That's the feedback that we've gotten from customers, consumers, and our customers, stores. And and the protein. That's the other aspect of it. Right. Very high protein item. A bag of 2.12 ounce Parmesan cheese wisps has, I think, like 24 to 26 grams of protein in a small bag.
Wow.
And it's clean protein.
Yeah.
It's not engineered like, you look at like protein bars and, some other brands that are protein chips, that's kind of fake protein versus us, it's just pure cheese.
So can you talk a little bit about just competing on the shelf for my attention when I go into the convenience store or the grocery for, some categories are snack food, some are, appetizer type things. Like, I'm just trying to wrestle with, macro, nationally snacks are down as a category, right? Due to the diet trends of the day, right? People think it's due to economy or the impacts of the GLP-1 diets that folks are on, but yet you're rising in sales, rising in footprint and appeal. Why you're so awesome? How's this working?
We have a really powerful go-to-market approach, which I guess is unique in snacking, especially here in the Northeast, where we have a full-service DSD team. Another shout out to Farrell Distributing and
what does DST mean?
all of our other distributors that believe in what we're doing. So DSD stands for direct store delivery. And the best way I can describe this is have you ever been to a grocery store at 7 a.m. and you see somebody from, let's say, Frito?
Yes.
They don't work at the store, but they're packing the shelf out.
Yeah.
That's DSD, where the store doesn't need to use any of their labor to, go in the back and open up boxes and put it on the shelf. That's called direct shipment, when you go directly to the store's warehouse. We are in a unique position where, especially here in the Northeast, we can offer both. When it comes to snacks, DSD is pretty much limited to the big players: Frito, Utz, Campbell's. That's really it. All other new snacks have, to go through KeHE or UNFI or, be in the Better For You channel. We have a group of independent beverage distributors that are trying to diversify their portfolios.
Wow.
Beer and snacks go perfectly together, right? And so we're coming in, we have all these great brands, we got great tasting product that we can now couple, with beverages and run really cool promos. But to answer your question of competing on shelf, DSD allows you to do some pretty cool things that you wouldn't get, if you're going direct, like, you can build displays and off-shelf merchandising vehicles. You can, have racks that you go into some of these convenience stores, you see metal racks. Like those are our distributors going in there and setting it up, and where we're now able to really get product in people's faces. You walk into a store, you see Cabot popcorn.
So you see
everywhere.
it's like a merchandising advantage compared to
Right. I would say correct. One, we have great brands, which, if we ship direct, like our brands have the cachet where people will try them. But you couple that with being able to build walls of product.
Like your Guinness
people
offering,
try.
right? Guinness beer and then Guinness pretzels.
Right.
Like why did it take 200 years for Guinness to want to do that? I don't understand.
Right. They're excited about
it's
it.
Left hand, right hand stuff. Yeah.
Right. That's another really good overlap with beer distributors. But I think that's a big strategic advantage that we have. It's an expensive way to go to market, but you can do things that a lot of other startup brands can't, that are pretty much limited to the big dogs.
Wow. That's so cool.
I'm getting so hungry right now.
I cannot stop looking at.
All right,
I'm like,
perfect time, Dave.
No, we get some questions here. I don't want.
What are we at on time, Dave? I'm just
30.
We've got a couple more. We've got a couple more minutes to go here. So nobody builds a business alone, and you've been really gracious about talking about your team and some of your backer partners on the rest, though. But who do you turn to? Might be online video, or it could be an advisory board. Like, how do you get better as a CEO and continue to learn and improve, right? Because it's very different than when you were just selling a loan to Roberta.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's actually really hard. I think I realized pretty early on that, I knew that we needed people that know what they're doing to run this business. Like our COO that we hired, Rob Beleza, he's Vermont. He used to be the head of operations at Ben & Jerry's. Bringing him on was a great addition to our team. But where I actually have no experiences is managing and leading a team. There's as our business has grown, there's components that I just don't know. I don't know how to build an S&OP process, a sales and operations planning, where you build, the sales, forecast and how to get it in with the operation, all this type of stuff that go into running, and no idea. And so I realized pretty quick, I'm probably not the best person to be managing the business. And so we brought in a new president, Bill Hooker, who has been a phenomenal addition to our team. Bill's, 30-year snack veteran, was the head of sales strategy at Snyder Lance, a bunch of other senior executive roles, where now he's, building out our go-to-market strategy, handling, all the day-to-day aspects of our business. And he's done a tremendous job. He's absolutely done amazing work, bringing it all together. And it kind of frees me up to just think of crazy ideas and come to podcasts at 2
I will share too. That was another point on why we made a big investment with Fund 2, was the fact that you could sell somebody like Bill on this opportunity, right, and get him to say, hell yeah, I'm in.
Right.
Right, and that is a hallmark of really great founders, that once they get past themselves, is who else are they talking into, what might be irrational behaviors, and buy into the vision and want to go and build. So
right. Okay. So we use the same, it's the special. When we designed this, we're look, this doesn't need to taste like a hot dog.
Okay.
If it's not good.
So this is the original.
This is the original, but it actually came out phenomenal.
Cheers, everyone.
Okay.
Cheers.
To the snap.
Cheers.
All right. It's a good meat stick.
I like this because it kind of tastes like a hot dog, but not like a.
It's got the special seasoning.
Right.
The smokiness.
It's got the juicy.
There's no way someone's gonna eat 100 of these at the contest.
Wait, this is good.
Do you know who look up Badlands book. Is it Badlands or Bad Bones? I forget. This dude.
This is the pro. Yeah.
He's gonna eat Badlands hot dog eater. It's a good meat stick, right?
This is a good meat stick. It has, it's good.
You can taste like
you can actually, exactly. Whereas some other companies that I won't name, you can kind of just taste like a filminess, like
right.
Quality's quality, right? And if you've figured out a way to make really interesting, great products, competitively priced that are head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah.
So,
this one was kind of perfect for us because one, for a Nathan's meat stick, you need a juicy meat stick. If you look at a lot of the new products that are out there, the brands, they're like we call them shriveled sticks.
Yeah.
Versus the Vermont Smoke and Cure styles, kind of more hot dog-ish, I guess. Am I too far from the mic? I might be. But they knocked it out of the park. They're known for making the really high quality stuff, and I've eaten so many meat sticks with them over the past 12 months, and so excited to finally have this out there. I actually think this could be this might be our biggest product line.
Yeah,
I've been saying this
given the popularity of it. Yeah, I want to ask. There's so many Vermont food companies or aspiring food companies. I'll give you a chance to chew. Your company, you've bought brands, you bought a brand, you've licensed some others, and there's certain pro cons to owning it, controlling it, right? Which versus licensing it. What advice do you have on the pro cons of that for the next Adam out there that might be trying to do a food company?
For when it comes to just licensing versus owning, or just advice for a food company in general?
Food company in general, yeah.
Right, because I feel for us, some brands make more sense. You want to license them. It's better to license certain types of companies than
What's the better part? Is it because you don't have to build a plant to make it?
Right,
or
exactly.
The brand value you can leverage? Or
it's too expensive for our strategy to provide enough ROI, right? For $1 billion company, you grow $100 million product line out of it. How much of the needle is that going to move? Or it's too complex. That's another big thing where, you have the complexities and operations, or it's too different than what they're currently doing. And also just the way they're structured. Cabot, for example, the people at Cabot, they're the first people that believed in us. We work very closely with them, but Cabot's a cooperative. It's a dairy cooperative. It'd be, you couldn't.
Different ownership structure.
It's different ownership structure. So some on that front, I would say, we're going to continue licensing, because we believe in it. But also, when it comes to buying companies, we're kind of building that reputation now, especially with how quickly we were able to turn Wisps around. We could be good stewards of capital and find, value where there is. But to your point on starting food businesses, what I've actually I've had a couple friends that have asked me this too, and I think people get too hung up on manufacturing in the beginning. I think that is a big decision. If you're trying to build a branded business, and a lot of people don't realize this, I think, just as consumers, is there is a very big difference between a manufacturing company and a branded business. A manufacturing business at its core, if you think about it, is you have an asset. You're trying to get as much value from that asset and run product through the lines in the most efficient manner. That's a manufacturing, and it's an expensive asset versus a branded business, and you're just trying to get product out of there, right?
Yeah.
If you're a branded business, there's a lot more nuance to it where. You got to go, you got to build a marketing program. You got to build a, shopper market, promotion calendar, go to market, you got to pay slotting and all this other type of stuff to get the brand out there. And I think people starting out should find, if you want to create a brand, create a brand. If you want a manufacturer, build a plant and get capacity through it. Because if your dollars are better spent growing a brand than spending $20 million on a manufacturing plant, especially with a new company. Go into manufacturing once you have scaled and you already have the throughput for the thing to pay for itself.
Yeah, funny. You just nailed the similar story to Lost Lantern whiskey.
To what?
Lost Lantern whiskey, right? And they had the brand, they had the expertise, they had the shelf space, the reach, and the product, the blend. And they're building that business well in advance of having to put millions of dollars into building a standalone distillery.
Right.
So
it's
build
tons
demand
of
and
capital
instead of supply,
and it doesn't grow the brand.
Yeah.
I think it also depends on the type of product too. Like some of them are very niche. You know what I mean? Like specialty type products. Like you can see brewery. You know what I mean? Like a brewery in Vermont. Like you have the brewery. I don't know anything about that business, but when it comes to traditional CPG, that would be my advice. Don't manufacture too early.
I love it. So what's next? Are there any iconic brands that you want to be a part of farmer companies in the future?
We're always looking. We have a couple big things that we're working on right now. Don't want to jinx it, so
don't jinx it.
Maybe that's podcast 150.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but yes, we're always looking for products and brands that are synergistic to our portfolio, and add incremental value that don't take money away from one and into another. We want it all to rising tide raises all boats.
Yeah, right. And again, it's a very interesting mergers and acquisition market by brands as well. You get to a certain size and certain folks come knocking. So we'll have you back.
Yeah.
I mean, basically.
Hopefully before 150.
Yeah, and bring more than meat sticks.
This is 104.
Bring some popcorn.
This is 104.
Yeah.
I think it's 104. Yeah.
So that's probably 3 years to get to 150 for us. Well,
so that's why I'm saying maybe like 115 next year.
I don't know your
This has been
your
all
podcast
business.
velocity.
What do you do for fun? What does make music mean? That was like on your.
Was that on my website?
Yeah. So what does that mean?
I rap.
No, you don't.
Yes, I rap just for fun. I don't show any
Publicly or just to yourself?
No, just to myself. I think I'm pretty good
like
though.
Freestyle or?
No, I record legit legit music.
Do you have a SoundCloud?
No.
Okay. All right.
Do you have an anonymous SoundCloud?
I do not.
Okay. Interesting.
It's kind of like I think everybody should exercise like a creative part of their that's kind of been that for me. Like that's important. Like I physical workout. I try to work out every day, be healthy, but like I also think you got to train like different parts of your brain. And so that's kind of been, and it's also like fun to do. So my rap name is The Pharmacist, but spelled with an F and a $sign.
I love that.
Oh my God. How many meat sticks do I have to eat to get you to rap here? Right?
No, literally. That's so important though. That's so important.
What do you do, Nicole? I mean, you're a hip hop dancer, right?
I'm a hip hop dancer,
really?
But yes. But I would say right now it's probably learning Italian, like learning a language.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Are you Italian?
Yes.
Oh, you look Italian.
Thank you.
How is it?
My Italian?
Yeah.
It's okay. I was in Italy recently and I was able to get by ordering food and stuff. So
that's really great. I'm the world's worst ukulele player.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Italian speaker.
No, I'm terrible at it, but I get so much joy out of being awful. It just drives my two sons crazy because
you play it in the office.
No.
Is there a ukulele? Is there a ukulele here?
We want to do like a no talent show or something.
God. Sign me up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
how long have you been playing the ukulele, Dave?
Terribly. We went to Kauai and hung out in Honolulu Bay for a bit.
You just caught the bug.
6 years ago. Yeah. I was like, I'm here. I gotta buy a ukulele. Just
naturally.
And, it drove tourists and small animals away from the place. It was not good. Anyway, enough of me. It's not about me. It's about you. Do you need a ukulele track for some of your rap? Because I could lay down something.
Yeah. That's a good point. Do you make tracks too, or do you just rap?
No, yeah. Like I record music about selling popcorn and things that I do and try to.
I need to listen.
Maybe,
You want me to play you one?
Like,
Yeah,
yes.
play us one.
All right, I'll play you one.
Maybe our podcast needs a new like theme song.
All right, hold
Yes.
on. I'll play you it. Start up.
Yeah, just play it into your mic.
Into my mic?
Or just
Yeah.
send
So
it.
everyone's going to hear this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is exciting.
This is awesome.
No one's ever. No, this is my coming out rap party.
I love it.
Well, we're here for it. We are celebrating with meat sticks.
This is a safe space.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So okay. This one I made 4/11/25. I never finished them. Okay. And I try to not swear at all.
Okay.
Keep it clean.
I'm on the ground floor, stepping up the brownstone. I've been moving on the down low. Do it like a boss, baby. Make the call after they get
Yes,
down low.
Nicole, losing it.
Go get her. Nobody knows better. I get cheddar from cheddar from cheddar.
No, but this is good. This
Again,
is good.
cheddar from cheddar from cheddar. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty good.
No,
Like,
love it. Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
Which is why I think at least have Cabot do this for an ad or something.
no,
You don't want to do anything with it.
Don't risk the bit. You're not a crossover talent.
I
yet.
never. The thing is, I
grow
would
the company.
never want to like be a rapper,
rapper.
like performing and all. Like that's just. I like to stay out of the limelight. Like
Yeah.
like I don't
Good
want.
for you.
All right, final
So-
question. We got
so
a
that-
magic wand. Okay, that
No.
was like magic wand, basically, right?
Yeah. Go for it, Dave.
So, magic wand. What founder or leader, present or past, would you like to chat with, and why?
You asked me. Yeah, I knew that was coming, and I still. Probably. I don't want to just do like.
No, I was like Eminem, LL Cool J. Like, I'm just like, what era is he gonna come up with here?
Oh
There's
man,
no wrong answer. It's your life.
I'd probably go Warren Buffett because he's super humble. He's not flashy, which I think is like he's out. You know what I mean? Like he's a very which, I have a lot of respect for that. Like he doesn't have, like he stays under the radar. Like, he's just.
He probably eats Nathan's hot dogs.
He would probably love Nathan's meat sticks.
yeah.
That's right up. I think the way he structured his business, being in the investment industry, was brilliant. Where he's not, I think the moves that he's made are like, it would probably be him. But there's a list of,
You only get one.
right. If there was one, there's a like kind of like he's not 100% a brand person. He likes brands, but like just the way, like if you look at his story and how he has grown Berkshire by not being this flashy Wall Street person, and he did it out of Omaha, Nebraska. It shows you it can happen
inspiring.
anywhere. Right. It'd probably be him, but.
Yeah.
How many other people have said Warren Buffett? I don't know.
You're the first.
Oh, wow.
Also,
Yeah.
because we just changed the
We
magic
changed- yeah,
wand
yeah.
question.
Oh, okay. So I'm the only one that's
I
been
think we have an
asked.
N of 4,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it. So. Adam, thank you so much. Like
This is fun.
we're a little out of sorts just after hearing that great track. So,
Cheddar from cheddar
Cheddar.
from cheddar. I'm never going to forget that.
all right, thank you. This has been Start Here, a podcast sharing the stories of active, aspiring, and accidental entrepreneurs. This series is brought to you by the Vermont Center for Emerging Technologies. Now let's get back to work.
Yeah, try to make it sound like gangster rap, but it's about like
Cheddar cheese.
making wisps.